Hey guys, Nebraska Farm Boy here. First of all, I do apologize for any wind noise that there is. We're in Nebraska and there's never a not windy day, so we kind of got to work around that, and their camera picks up every little bit of stinking wind. Anyways, today we're talking about a really exciting subject. We're talking about splitting wood by hand with splitting mauls, which is some of my favorite work, so let's get right into the video. So if you're just starting to heat your house with wood, or maybe you're just starting to split wood, maybe you've been buying pre-split wood, I don't know, you're going to be saving a lot of money if you start splitting your own wood, if that's what you've been doing. Anyways, regardless of what you've been doing, maybe you want to start splitting wood by hand. And the first thing you're going to need to do is decide how you're going to split that wood by hand. Now you could get a wood splitter, and then that would be not by hand, that's power tools, and we have one of those. You need one of those because you have these big gnarly pieces of wood that you just don't want to split, because we gotta be a little bit pragmatic with our time, because not all of us, we just don't really want to be splitting wood all day long, and or worse yet, splitting on the same piece of wood all day long. And so sometimes you just kind of want to use that wood splitter. But for the most part, about 80-90% of the time, I split all my wood by hand. I use the splitting maul. Now, when you're just starting out, you're going to want to start probably with, pardon me, the mess, a 6-pound maul. I think that's what this is. You want to start with something a little bit lighter, and then once you break that, like I did with this one, you're going to want to go up to an 8-pound maul, because you'll be stronger by that time. But don't kill yourself. Don't grab an 8-pound maul the first time you start splitting wood. You won't keep on splitting wood. You'll be done splitting wood. Alright, you'll break your back. Okay, so you gotta build up your strength, but once you build up your strength, 8-pound maul, totally worth it. This thing cuts through everything except for wood. It won't cut through. But we'll get back to that. Now what you need to know about splitting mauls is the shape of the splitting maul. You need to have a splitting maul that has this sort of knife point shape, whereas the old-fashioned kind, let's see if I can get this down, has this big wedge shape. You can see this has a very narrow tip, edge, what have you, and it really widens out quite quickly, whereas this one has a wide edge that really never even, it's wide at the beginning, and it does widen out, but takes forever. Anyways, whether or not that made sense, go with a more modern version of the splitting maul. It's really worth it. And then when you're gonna put an edge on your maul, it has to have a sort of an edge, sort of like a 40-degree edge is, I think, the proper edge for a maul. It just has to have a sort of edge on it. It does not have to be hair shaving sharp. It's bad if your maul is hair shaving sharp, because then the edge will roll over, and then you will have no longer a sharp maul. You'll have a very dull maul indeed. And how I put an edge on my maul, I just take a file. Sometimes if it's really bad, I'll use the bench grinder, and I'll just put a quick edge on there. And yeah, nothing fancy at all to that. And that's why I like mauls over axes. An axe needs to be sharp in order to split things, because a maul is trying to wedge it, it's like driving a wedge in between the piece of wood, whereas an axe kind of needs more of a cutting power because it doesn't have as much of a wedge shape. And well, if you can sharpen an axe, yay for that. You're a great person, but I can't sharpen an axe that well, so I use splitting mauls. Alright, for gear, you're going to want to wear boots in case you hit your foot. You're going to want to wear jeans in case you hit your leg, and you're going to want to wear a t-shirt, because it's not cool to chop wood without a shirt. But that's what all of us farm boys are wearing anyways. I mean, if you're not wearing jeans and boots, what are you wearing? Sweat shorts and tennis shoes? Okay, really, man up. Okay, just get over it. And then technically I should probably tell you to wear safety glasses. I don't wear safety glasses, so yeah, you should wear safety glasses. And then just real quick, the weather is also real important. Don't try to split wood in July when it's 90 degrees. Ask me how I know. It's a terrible idea. Okay, just don't do it. Try to split your wood in the fall or the spring when it's about 40 to 60 degrees. That's really the best temperature. I mean, it can get down to 30 degrees and all. You still won't have a jacket on it. It's really very heartwarming work, you know? So then I guess it is fair of you to ask, why would you use a splitting maul at all if you could use a wood splitter? Okay, so there's a couple reasons for that. One, I'm a young man and I like to strengthen myself, and so I don't get to see the point of splitting wood with a wood splitter when you could be using an axe and having a whole lot more fun, or splitting them, sorry, and having a whole lot more fun and strengthening yourself at the same time. It's kind of a sport for me, you know. For another thing, it's faster if you're strong. Okay, if you're strong, then it's a lot faster to split it by hand. Then another thing, there's no noise, so you don't have to wear earplugs, and that's really, really a great benefit. Another thing is, when it's really cold, you don't have to try to start up the wood splitter. The wood splitter, at least ours, does not like to start at all in the cold. So you can spend an hour trying to get the stinking thing to start when you could be out and splitting a whole lot of wood, okay? More wood than you could split with the wood splitter, all right? So those are a couple reasons for why you should split wood by hand. So now we're gonna go out, we're gonna actually show you some things about actually splitting wood. And again, I apologize for the wind. There's nothing I can do about it. Alright, so here we've got a piece of mulberry on our splitting stump. Now, whether or not you use the splitting stump is up to you. You'll dull your axe up a whole lot faster if you don't use a splitting stump. You could use a board instead, and then that'll give you more of a swing range. I just used this old stump because I had a little bit of a grudge against it because I was trying to split it and it wouldn't split. Now the first thing you're going to want to know about splitting wood before you start is about wood grain. Now on this stump here, we've got cracks running through it. Now we're going to want to follow those cracks as best we can. Now this particular piece of wood is mulberry and it's got a kink to it. It's slightly bent. That's going to be terrible, but we're going to try it anyways. Alright, so the second thing you want to know is how to swing an axe. This is very, very important, okay? So listen up. Most people don't know how to swing an axe and it drives me crazy. So, you're going to want to grip it like this to start. You're going to want to grip right under the handle, under the head, sorry, and then you're going to want to grip down here at the base of the handle, alright? So now you're going to bring it over your head, like so, sort of in a circular motion, and then you're going to slide your hand down the handle as you swing down, okay? So it looks like this. Alright, now, again, that was not a perfect swing. I did not hit dead center, but we did get a piece of wood off of that. And you're going to learn a lot as you go along. You're going to learn how you swing best. You're going to learn how wood really acts under the axe, all right? So you're going to learn a lot about about knots and about the terribleness of knots. And you'll get these pieces of wood. They're shaped like a Y because that's where two branches came out. You would think those would be easy to split. Those are horrible to split. Don't try it, and especially don't try it in front of your friends or anyone you want to impress, okay? Just don't do it. It's terrible, okay? You want to start, especially when you're starting, you want to have straight wood. You want to go with something more of a hardwood, I don't know. I don't know whether it's better to split a hardwood or a softwood, because softwood can sometimes be a pain because it won't really want to split apart. Hardwood can be a pain because it won't want to come undone. I don't know if that made any sense. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn how wood acts underneath the axe, and you're going to have to learn probably by trial and error. That's how I've learned. One thing to know is if you have a knot in your wood, this piece of wood has a knot here. You can tell that because knots are where the branches come out, okay? You don't want to try to split that crosswise. You want to more split, you want to try not to split that at all. You want to leave that knot in the wood, in one of the pieces of wood that you split off. So, in that case, I know that knot is right here. So I want to take this here and cut it so that I leave the knot on this side of the wood. Whoa, wait, that's a hard piece of wood there. What I did there was not very smart. I came across and I landed the base of my axe, right beneath the head of my axe on top of the other piece of wood. That is liable to break your axe handle, so just don't do my stupid things. Alright, splitting wood is a lot of fun. It's a very useful skill. You're going to just have to learn how to do it as you go. That's kind of how I've learned. There's definitely a lot of good resources out there, so definitely learn as much as you can from other people's mistakes, learn from my mistakes, and hey, We do videos about this. We do videos about all kinds of stuff. Being a protector, being a man, being a farm boy. Okay? That's what this channel is about. If you like that kind of stuff, you know what I'm going to say. Subscribe. Anyways, without any further ado, we will see you next time. Wait! One more further ado, okay? If you have any questions about splitting that I did not answer here, leave them in the comments. I will probably do another video on this, so then I can, know what to tell you guys. Alright? Without any further ado, we will see you next time.